Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about Isaiah 63. By now you should see that I'm right in this playlist. Okay, I've made it very clear. But for those of you who still don't understand the connection between Psalm 19 and the end of the Bible, right, which is also talked about in Revelation, but we're talking about Isaiah here. And we start with Isaiah chapter 60, and we're going to go through 66. Keep in mind 58 is about them sinning and not helping the poor, not helping the widow, the foreigner, what have you. And 59 is about the righteous one looking around and seeing that no one is doing God's work. And we've gone through 60 through 62 so far, and I touched on 63 in the last video. So here we go. Who is this coming from Edom, from Basra, with his garment stained crimson? Right? Crimson refers to the color of sin, as does red. Who is this robed in splendor, striding forward in the greatness of his strength? It is I proclaiming victory, mighty to save. Now keep in mind the champion, right? Proclaiming victory. Who can proclaim victory besides me? No one. Not America, not the Catholic Church, not Protestants, not Jews, not Muslims, not atheists, agnostics, New Age, none of them. I'm the one who won the top martial arts challenge. Their groups teamed up together to try to cover that up, so they could brag to a bunch of airheads, cheerleaders, groupies, rockers, jocks, greedy businessmen, hypocrites from various groups, while God sings my praises, so to speak, and the angels. It is I proclaiming victory, mighty to save those who are worth saving, as I'm separating the sheep from the goats, and no one should reproduce no matter what. Okay. Why are your garments red like those of one treading the winepress? I have trodden the winepress alone. From the nations no one was with me. I trampled them in my anger. I trod them down in my wrath. Their blood splattered my garments, and I stained all my clothing. It was for me the day of vengeance, for me the year to redeem had come. I looked, but there was no one. I looked, but there was no one to help. I was appalled that no one gave support, so my own arm achieved salvation for me, and my own wrath sustained me. I trampled the nations in my anger, in my wrath I made them drunk and poured their blood on the ground. The nations, that means all their groups too. The nations are a collection of groups, of philosophies, of spirits, of ways of thinking. I transcended them, I refused to follow them, and I trampled them in my wrath. And that's the truth. They could all get together and lynch me, and it wouldn't come anywhere near what I've accomplished here. They refused to man up. Why, I'm the top martial artist ever possible. I challenged them. And the word challenge, you have the word angel scrambled, the word call, the word hell. It's part of the word play there. I conquered them, and easily so. And I strode forth in the greatness of my strength and splendor. Just like it says here in Isaiah 63, verses 1 through 6. And they were drunk from their cowardice. They were drunk from the blood of the saints. They were drunk from failing life's test. They were drunk from falling to prostitute, Babylon's system, and the beast, the kings who channel the various demons and false idols of Babylon's system, and their unholy union, with the physical earth. Praise and prayer. I will tell of the kindness of the Lord, the deeds for which he is to be praised, according to all the Lord has done for us. Yes, the many good things he has done for Israel. According to his compassion and many kindnesses. He said, surely they are my people, children who will be true to me. And so he became their Savior. In all their distress, he too was distressed, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and mercy, he redeemed them. He lifted them up and carried them all the days of old. So when I proclaim my greatness, I'm proclaiming the Lord's greatness, because God set me apart. I didn't make myself. God created me. I I won the top martial arts challenge because of God, because God is with me, and He testifies on my behalf by setting me apart, by making me who I am. And notice it says here that you're supposed to tell of God's deeds. Tell the truth, right? Put a lamp on a stand. That is what it is referring to, is part of what's referring to when it says that the vindication of the true Zion with God, not on this planet, shines like the dawn. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter to the full light of day. Right? The intensity, the righteous intensity that was displayed in my top martial arts challenge and my world record speed strikes. All these things they sought to cover up, but the challenge continues. To this day, they are afraid to accept the challenge because I'm the top martial artist ever possible. And they are mere cowards obeying child molesters and their allies, and everyone knows it. Who doesn't know that in this day and age? If you think someone doesn't know that, in terms of them obeying child molesters and their allies, put in the comments. If you think that anyone has anything they could possibly say when it comes to me being the top martial artist ever possible and the Son of God, if they could possibly say something contrary that makes sense, put in the comments. I'd love to hear. The way, the truth, and the life. Not some fairy tale, not some nonsense. Yet they rebelled and grieved His holy city, so He turned and became their enemy, and He Himself fought against them. Just like with Israel and America and all the nations on the planet. They refused to come into the Spirit of God. They refused to obey God through me out of arrogance, out of cowardice, out of selfishness, out of putting their selfish, sorry excuse for love for their family before God. True love comes from righteousness. Without righteousness, you don't truly love your families. If you don't truly care about righteousness and justice to the point where you do justice to why you're here, then how could you love your families? You have some kind of sick emotion for them. And that is the truth, and the truth sets you free. Then His people recalled, or may He recall, the days of old. So they put that in the footnotes, or may He recall. The days of old, the days of Moses and his people, where He brought them through the sea with the shepherd of His flock, who sent His glorious arm of power to be at Moses' right hand, who divided the waters. Okay, so God set His glorious arm of power to be at Moses' right hand. Just like He sent His glorious arm of power to be with my martial arts strikes that caused me to achieve my top martial artist victory. So right there in Isaiah 63, you see that it testifies that I'm right on so many levels. Right? You see it talked about the mighty deeds of God. It talked about, the champion, the bridegroom, the victories. It is I proclaiming victory, mighty to save. And here you see God's glorious arm of power to be at Moses' right hand. Now remember, Moses split the Red Sea figuratively. How do we know? Revelation 17, where they're speaking the same language as the people who wrote Exodus. The same way of explaining things. And it says the water stands for the peoples, the nations, the multitudes, the languages. We also see that the water in Isaiah stands for well-being. We see elsewhere in the Bible it says it can stand for affliction. Right, the polluted water of the wicked, right? Proverbs, the muddied water of evil people. We see it can stand for the Spirit of God, a collection of water. The water can flood, the water can purify. The essence of the idea of the water purifying the physical is the essence of the idea purifying the spiritual and the soul. To regain for Himself everlasting renown. So what did He do in order to regain for Himself everlasting renown? Well, what did He do in 1 Samuel 17? David versus Goliath. So God did these mighty warrior acts to bring Himself glory. And He did it through Moses. How? He sent His glorious arm of power to be at Moses' right hand when He figuratively split the Red Sea, and is superimposed on martial art activity. The striking hand, the spirit, to spear something, the spirit. The power, pow, ear, the sword of Scripture. Who led them through the depths like a horse in open country. They did not stumble. Like cattle going down to the plain, they were given rest by the Spirit of the Lord. This is how you guided your people to make for yourself a glorious name. So notice this, the great warrior spirit is guiding him, right? The Lord is the warrior, Exodus 15:3. That's how Moses described him. Moses said, what gave him his power? It was God who is the warrior. And then he guided them in that same warrior spirit, with that same warrior insight that I alone have. And it comes from God. While everyone else is doing the wrong thing, they don't know how to respond to the New World Order, I've moved masterfully. I did not come here to save the goats. You can't judge how successful I am by how many people I save, because it's the end. In Isaiah 57, it says the righteous are taken away to be spared from evil. Where are they? They're nowhere to be found. You see that in the beginning of Isaiah 63, this very chapter. He was appalled that there was no one around. Why? Because the righteous have been taken away, and the wicked were the ones who kept breeding, and no one should breed no matter what. Right? Blessed are the childless women, the breasts that never nursed, and the wombs that never bore. What does that mean? So it goes on to say, look down from heaven and see from your lofty throne, holy and glorious, where are your zeal and your might? Your tenderness and compassion are withheld from us. It says, where are your zeal and your might, and your tenderness and compassion, in its true form, in its leadership form, in its pinnacle, in its top martial arts form? It is the Royal African Falcon top martial arts. It is me. There's no other way to look at it. When you hear it, you should know already. Everything else is just false pride. If you can't look at it universally and see past your ethnic group, your race, your tribe, your nation, and see it for what it really is, then you're blinded by Satan and the desire to be selfish. That false pride, that's a sin. It says, where are your zeal and your might? It is in me, I am the gate. But you are our Father, though Abraham does not know us, or Israel acknowledge us. You, Lord, are our Father. Our Redeemer from of old is your name. From of old, right before Abraham I am. And before Abraham, Ham begot Cush, Cush begot Nimrod, who was a mighty warrior before the Lord. The most pronounced figure besides Jesus in the Bible, basically. Because there's a difference between what Moses did, when you understand that the miracles are figurative, and what Nimrod did. There's a difference between what David did and what Nimrod did. It says, what is the root and offspring of David? It's the same as the root and offspring of Nimrod, and the root and offspring of Moses. And there's that warrior emphasis. What did David seek to be like? What did Abraham seek to be like? You know, sought to be like? Like Nimrod, a mighty warrior for the Lord. See Genesis 10. It explains it to you. Be careful what translation you use, because there's a lot of Satanists who translate things. You know, the Bible is Bible to prevent the hero from explaining things effectively. The Torah is ha-rat scramble. It's not a coincidence. I can go on and on about those connections. Why, Lord, do you make us wander from your ways and harden our hearts so we do not revere you? We turn for the sake of your servants, the tribe that are your inheritance. For a little while your people possessed your holy place, but now our enemies have trampled down your sanctuary. We are yours from of old, but you have not ruled over them. They have not been called. I could be wrong about what the last few words are here, but it doesn't change the bottom line. So I'm reading from my notes. They make it so I can't read from the Bible because they fume and poison things a certain way. I kid you not. They use technology. So if I order a Bible or I use the Bible in my house, there's a lot of dust on things, and to clean it, it doesn't help. And that dust has some kind of technology on it that prevents me from reading it, because when I open it, it causes me to see spots, even through my glasses. You know, the technology finds a way through, around my glasses, and it prevents me from reading the Bible. It also causes me physical harm to my joints and my muscles. And this kind of technology that they're using, and they're trying to control the situation here, has caused my face to change a little bit, but you can still tell it's me. It's caused my body to change, but you can still tell it's me. The same height, certain marks I have on my body, certain things that give away it's me at this time. And you should be very suspicious of them trying to use this to present an imposter. Very suspicious. You should go the distance to make sure that it's me.